weren't you? You were ready today. Everybody do me a favor, like the live, share the live, let everybody know we're here. Sorry I'm late. I had a couple of things I had to do this morning. And I had to make some headaches. We had a time last night, didn't we? Good morning, everybody. How was everybody's good night? How was everybody's weekend? We had a time last night. When I tell you, I'm gonna talk about something. Wait, you know what? I might as well put their picture up from right now. Why not? Oh no, I left the wrong name up. Dang it. Good morning, everybody. He's not Wrench Unstoppable. He's Fish Stick Rick and Rick James. I'm sorry I have the wrong name up there. I'm going to talk about Wrench Unstoppable, and that's why his name is there. So I apologize for that being wrong. Should I go fix it? Hold on. I'm going to go fix there. So I apologize for that being wrong. Should I go fix it? Hold on. I'm going to go fix there. So I apologize for that being wrong. Should I go fix it? Hold on. I'm going to go fix there. So I apologize for that being wrong. Should I go fix it? Hold on. I'm going to go fix it. Okay, I apologize. We're back. Goodness, everybody left just because I went and did that? My goodness. Everybody like the live, share the live, let everybody know we're here. For the people who are here, I am going to be talking about some egregious behavior by this gentleman, because what I really want to call him is something else. If you haven't seen the video, go to Fallon's page. The video has a trigger warning on it. It's like a black box. Good morning, honey. I hope you had a good night too. It's like a black box. Everybody leave my live, go watch it, and come back. Oh, no worries, Sister Shades of Crazy. I do that all the time. I do that all the time. Everybody like the live, share the live, let everybody know we're here. I know I didn't start right at 6:30, so some people are going to think, "Oh, she didn't go live today." But there were a few things I needed to do. I had a couple of edits that I forgot about last night because last night just seemed like it was going to go on forever. Like the live, share the live. You know what I always say. Tap it until you see the heart, and then continue to tap until you complete the heart's tail. It's between 84 and 85 clicks. Take a break, do it again. Now, I know that the scammers will say that I'm asking you to do that for clout, but that's not true. I'm asking you to do it to let people know that we're here. We know that we're going to get hit with harassment and bullying, not original content, all of the things. We know we're going to get hit with all of the things. And so this prevents them from being able to take the live down because it lets TikTok know that we are having a great engagement. So if you haven't seen it, go to Fallon's page. In the meantime, I'm going to put this back up. If you haven't been on my account, I know that it's been shared on other people's accounts. You don't need clout. You got me. Facts, CJ. Facts. I don't need nothing else. It could just be you and I in here, and we'll have a rocking time. If you haven't seen this, this is the new way that we are going to attack our scammers and beggars' lives. And what I mean by that is if you look at, there are some very specific words. It says that begging for money on TikTok can violate the platform's community guidelines and could lead to account restrictions or bans if done excessively or in a manipulative manner. When you're reporting, say that it's excessive. Thank you for the like me. Heart me, rather, I'm sorry. Say that they're manipulating their audience. Make sure you say it's in violation of community guidelines. Thank you for the heart me. Appreciate it. Um, if you go down the key points to remember, community guidelines, TikTok has rules against content that is considered exploitative or deceptive, which can include overly aggressive requests for money. Good morning, everyone. Candy Kisses. Maggie brings in a lot of gifts, and the TikTok algorithm responds to that. And so, what we have to do is be patient and consistent. It's not going to come down because we do it once, twice, 10 times, 20 times. Because TikTok is making money off Maggie. And let's be honest, this is a for profit business. So for the people who make TikTok money, it's going to take a long time. Why do you think so many, even the wealthiest of TikTok users, battle? They battle because it makes TikTok money. It makes them money too, don't get me wrong, but it makes TikTok money. So whereas Adrielle used to come up with plot twists, her child was jumped, she had a panic attack in the doctor's office, people are stalking her. That money train started to run out. So she jumped on the battle scene. That's why. So what we have to do is stay patient and consistent. Consistently remind TikTok that this is against their community guidelines. You'll also have to remember there aren't people sitting there going through lives and looking for things, right? I mean, I'm sure they have a few, but we're talking about millions of people on an app. There's a computer program that's doing that. So when they see keywords, it checks off a box. It checks off a box. And I can tell you that this has already started to work. Oh, yeah, Adriel's numbers are definitely dropping because they realize it's all a grift. She People who only battle provide no content. And after a while, the people who are gifting for her to win realize that they're not getting anything out of the live other than losing their own money. Y'all know how I feel. I feel like battling is another way of begging and scamming. Sorry. If it's something you do, it's okay with TikTok. It's okay with me. But I believe that that's what that is. And it also gives people who want to give the excuse that I'm not supporting a scammer. I'm just supporting the battle. Okay. Y'all know how we feel. If after you know the details of who you're giving to and why, and you want to choose to continue to do that, I get out of the way. I get out of the way. But most people wake up because most people don't have unlimited funds. And what they come to realize is they save you from this situation. Tomorrow there'll just be another. Tomorrow there'll just be another. It never stops. It never goes away. So now that we're almost at 100 people, everybody do me a favor, continue to like the live because we're about to go pretty deep. If you haven't already, seen. We're going to talk about Ireland 2 and her husband and what her husband said. And I'm going to play a video for you guys to give you some context because I believe a lot of people don't have the context around why what he said was beyond the pale. Now, I think most people know shouldn't use that word. It has a negative connotation, but he tried to use the excuse that the definite dictionary definition is ignorance. And he is correct. That is the dictionary definition. But that is to whitewash the true intent behind the word. So we're going to talk about it. So if you haven't seen the video, go over to Fallon's page. It like the picture is like a black box, like a black photo at first. There's some trigger warnings. That's not the only thing he said, but since that offends me personally, I mean, the other words that he said offend me too. Don't get me wrong. They're words that should never be said. And he also tried to use the excuse that he was protecting his family. Those words have nothing to do with protecting your family. Okay? Nothing. You were angry and you decide. And let me also say this. The words he said, he didn't hesitate. He didn't stutter. Those are words that are a part of his vocabulary. He says it all the time. When he gets upset, those are the words he uses. And you want to know why he uses them? Because it makes him feel superior. He also doesn't have the vocabulary to express how he's feeling. So he resorts to using words that make him feel superior. Sir, you don't realize that what you're doing is showing how ignorant you are. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to go over there and do that. Let's see who we are going to start with today. Today's the 27th. Let's see. Let's start with good old faithful. Let's start with good. Where's the video? It's on Fallon's page. Or Birdie, yeah. It looks when at the box looks black first, and there are trigger warnings. And I am sorry if what you hear offends any of you, because that's not my intent. But we're going to talk about it, so you might as well know what I'm talking about. So, good old faithful Amanda. We are back to recycling our old grift. Now, I told y'all when she asked for the $18 to pay her house dues that didn't make sense. Because according to her, the house manages her money. So if they needed $18, they would have just taken it out. Unless that was a lie. Because remember, she used that to say that's why she didn't have access to her money to pay for her own ride. That the house manages her money. I tell y'all all the time, just listen. Don't worry about the comments. Don't worry about telling the truth about her. Just listen. Just listen. And you will always find the lie. I remember when she needed a ride back from the pharmacy because it took the pharmacy 2 hours extra to fill her prescription and her ride left her. Let me tell you something about a pharmacist. If you tell the pharmacist, I know you're really busy, but my ride is going to leave me and I'm stranded. Can you please do my medication? They'll make the exception. They'll make the exception. But when I told her that both CVS and Walgreens has a program, in fact, CVS, and I know it because I use it, for $5 a month, CVS will deliver your medication same day. And what did she tell me? Not my CVS. How do you figure? How do you figure that it doesn't work at your CVS? That's on the website, ma'am. It's not a CVS by CVS by CVS. Now, if you're in a remote area and there aren't as many companies and drivers to do it, may it take longer for you? Of course. But don't tell me it doesn't exist before you even look at it. Y'all have to remember that there are a lot of elderly people who can't go back and forth to the pharmacy. They had to find a way to get medication to people. But let's move on from that. She started with that $18 house dues. And since then, it has been ride after ride after ride after ride. I love how she has no friends but all of these acquaintances. Everybody's an acquaintance. Girl, why are you hanging out with so many acquaintances? It doesn't make sense to me, but they're an acquaintance when they leave you stranded. But they were a friend when you was going. So on the 25th, she claims she went out with an acquaintance, somebody she doesn't really know, and they went to somebody else's house and started to drink and probably party a little harder than drinking. And she felt like it wasn't a safe environment. You are not 21, 22, 25. You are a grown woman. And you mean to tell me at this stage, you don't know when to go and when not to go? But I'm going to tell you, I think it was a lie. There was no acquaintance. There was no party. There was nowhere she was hiding from. You want to know why? Because then she did it again. Last night, she needed 37 to get home. Someone gave her, someone where she claimed she was, gave her 10. So now she was down to just needing 27. I love how when it's your money, it's a just. We only need, it's just $5. It's just, well, if it's just, you come up with the money since it's just. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to where she said she was. She said that a neighbor of hers took her to a church dinner. She said that she decided to stay and help clean up. Again, you're not 10. You know you have a ride to go back to the neighborhood you live in because you said it was a neighbor. But instead of going and getting in the car with the neighbor, you decided it was a good idea to stay and help clean up. And now you need chat to send you home? Because, of course, no one in the church lives as far away as she does. Why would you go that far? But let me tell you what is consistent: the amount and the fact that she is always walking in the dark. Oh, I can't show you where I am. If you're at a church and you're asking for money, even if you don't want to be inside because you don't want people to hear, why aren't you sitting on the church steps? You need a hip replacement, right? So why are you walking around in the cold asking for the money? Because she's right outside her house. She's right outside her house. Remember, she told us she can't go live in the house if there are other people there. She also can't claim that she's far away if she's inside the house. She did this before. When she would go live and say she was far away, people literally would go ride in a circle around Frank's mom's house and they would find her walking alone in the dark just to grift money. And I don't know who it is that's giving her the whole amount. Like one person, boom. It might take a little while. I'm starting to wonder if it's Frank or some sycophant, and they're doing it so that other people start to think, oh, okay, she really does need it. Let me help her. Because most of the time, they get money a couple of dollars at a time till they get to the end. She's getting one and done. Right. Always close to an ATM. Always close to an ATM. But okay, then this is another lie you had to catch. When she first started and people were like, you can't ask anybody at the church, she was like, I asked the pastor, and that's how I got the $10. Later on, when someone said something to her about the pastor, she was like, the pastor wasn't here. Because somebody was like, the pastor's always the last to leave. Oh, now the pastor's not there. What? That's not what you said 2 minutes ago. As long as people keep giving her money for this specific thing, this will continue to be the grift. She can't say she's homeless. She can't say she's out in the cold. She can't say she doesn't have anything to eat. The only way for her to get money out of people is to say that she's stranded. And each time, her and Frank have to come up with something unique because people are going to stop believing you. I don't know how people haven't stopped believing her now. But you know what I was thinking? Instead of just sending them a, by the way, she's a scammer, XYZ, invite them to an awareness live. It doesn't have to be mine. It could be All for One, Mexican Homie, me, Fallon, anybody who goes live. Invite them to a live. Because I don't, when all you see is one specific person, you don't understand how pervasive this problem has become. It's easy to justify in your mind any one person in particular. But when you realize it's her, it's Kim, it's Carl, it's Lisa, it's Ty, it's Asia, it's Erica, then you start to see the pattern. You start to see that they use each other's excuses when they see that something has worked for somebody else. And then you can start looking at more people and being like, okay, wait a minute, you are now on my radar. Something about what you're doing, how you're saying it, how you're acting doesn't make sense. It's easy to look at this woman who looks like she's 60, walking with a limp, needing help. But then when you start to see the able bodied young people doing it, you're like, wait a minute, what? How does that make sense? And of course, she makes sure that the excuse she uses requires cash only. When she came up with that one, boy, was that a moneymaker. But how come no matter where she is, it's the same amount? It's the same amount. I know church people will go out of their way for you. You mean to tell me your ride left you after you stayed to help us clean up? And of course, the neighbor she went with was older and doesn't like to drive at night. So why'd she go? Good morning. Everybody like the live, please. Because some of the stuff we about to talk about, other people could do it and not get bananas. I talk about what they do, I'll get bananas. The nosy girl in the corner, no one's talking to her. But okay. Now when she said the pastor wasn't there, oh, well, board members have the keys. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. And the pastor has to be able to trust people. He can't be there every second of every day. I get it. But girl, earlier you said the pastor was there. You said that they left, like people left already. But the church people I know would go out of their way for someone. But of course, not for you. Never for you. No one ever helps Amanda. And what I also love is their new thing. I hate coming on here. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't hate coming on here. You love coming on here. Talk about it's my last resort. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's your first. And you will cry. I'm surprised she hasn't fallen to the ground. But as long as the money keeps coming in, this is going to happen. And people were like, wait a minute, didn't you just ask for a ride the other day? And someone was like, this is 3 times. And she was like, it wasn't 3 times. It one time was for the house dues and only twice were for rides. What do you mean only? You need to learn to live within your means. And if you don't have a way to return, then don't go. Then don't go. You have food in the house. You're not homeless without food. And so this was an opportunity to eat a good meal. No. My mom used to always say to me, if you don't have a way to get back, don't go. If you can't afford to figure out a way to get back, don't go. Because anything could happen. But these acquaintances, man, I don't want her acquaintances or her friends. I'll keep the ones I have because they'll leave her in a minute. And let's not forget, she claimed that someone drove from New Hampshire to her to bring her to the pharmacy. It would have been cheaper for that woman to give her the money for the cab than it was for her to. And then after 2 hours or so, she had to go back to her kids. I don't want your friends. Then she said to prove that other people have keys to the church, that she had keys to her church when she was a Girl Scout leader for 9 years. Which 9 years? Oh, of course the car is a lie. What 9 years? Which 9 years were you clean enough to be a Girl Scout leader? And you have boys. Who was giving you keys to a church? Girl, bye. Stop lying. And if you were a Girl Scout leader, baby, you should have some better survival skills. That's the first thing I thought. You should have some better survival skills, baby. Oh my goodness. Justice for Aaliyah. When did that happen? Everybody go to that page and provide this mother with some support. I don't know what we can do to help, but let's provide her some support. We weren't created to bury our children. I'm so sorry. She was holding her cell phone. Everybody, if you write her account down. Let's provide her some support. So I'm going to ask you guys to add one more thing to the notices that you send to people, and keep doing that as well. I don't care if out of 100 people you save one person. That one person appreciates the message. Okay? Add to the message to invite them to come see an awareness live. Most of them haven't. Some have, of course, but most of them haven't. Hold on, let me see something really quick. Has everybody had the opportunity to go see the video that I was talking about? My iPad is acting up. No, I can't find it anywhere. Can anybody post where people can see the live? I mean, see the video. For me, please. Why can't I find it? Really? No, I don't want to see that. I want to see saved. Where's history? No, I don't want it. Me. This is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it another way. This is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it another way. This is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it another way. This is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it another way. Okay, I'm back. So I hope I've given everybody enough time to see the video. If not, you can see it after, but let's get to it. This is going to be part of my raising the consciousness. Oh, goodness. I'm looking in the wrong place. This young lady right here, Ireland dot two. She was a Kim supporter. And I told y'all when I talked about her, when was it? Friday? That after supporting Kim for a while, Friday? That after supporting Kim for a while, that after supporting Kim for a while, They get envious of the attention and the money that comes. And they think, I could do it too. And you know how sometimes we watch Kim just sit there and like watch TV and eat, and how boring those lives are? Well, Ireland thought that was the way to do it. She doesn't say anything. She responds to comments. She'll respond to one of her mods, which she is already heavily modded up. Why? He is already heavily modded up. Why? Why? Why does she need mods? She doesn't even say anything. But I believe this is all in preparation to build up to start the bag. Her account says something like she's just looking to build community. There ain't enough community around you, boo. You got 2 kids and a man. You don't have no friends. You don't have no family. You need TikTok community. Okay. Some people do. I get it. And sometimes moms need other people to talk to because they want to talk to an adult. And her husband or man, whatever he is to her, clearly ain't it. She had a nerve to say that people need to get both sides of a story before you have an opinion. Girl, let me tell you something. The things that your man said, what could the other side of the story be? So we are in anticipation of her becoming a scammer. Now, she's so transparent that the awareness community was on her like white on rice. Like, girl, please. We see it. You have 3 mods for 30 people in a live. You're asking for gifts. Already in your account, your apps of cash and cousins are listed. And what you were hoping is that because you supported Kim and y'all know how they follow each other and they become a little family, that people would gravitate towards you. What was funny though is that if Kim went live at the same time as Ireland, if you are a supporter, why don't you drop down so everybody could go see Kim? No, you wanted to divide the audience. But at the very least, sometimes Kim provides a laugh or two. She acts ridiculous and people enjoy it. You just sitting there. Mind you, the thing that pissed me off the most before her husband is the kids are trying to get her attention and talk to her, and she's telling the kids to wait until she gets off live. Girl, you're not even talking about nothing. Her attention and talk to her, and she's telling the kids to wait until she gets off live. Girl, you're not even talking about nothing to her, and she's telling the kids to wait until she gets off live. Girl, you're not even talking about nothing. Oh, I know Kim was angry last night. I was there for it. You're not even saying anything. You're not doing anything. You're not providing any content. There's no engagement whatsoever. But your kids have to wait. Now, everybody and their mama knows you can hit mute and have whatever conversation you want to have. But no, your kids need to wait. If that doesn't sound like a scammer in training, and some of you may not know, but I went in her live as digital. I always do that. When I go to somebody's live for the first time, I go in as digital. Sometimes I'm pre-blocked, which tells me I'm doing something right. But I wasn't. And I didn't even say anything. I was just there. I told y'all before, when I go in most lives as digital, most people don't even pay attention. They don't even they don't even get it. She spotted me immediately. I don't know if it was her or one of her mods, but they blocked me. So when I went in on my digital backup, I told her, "You are now on my radar. Thank you very much." And she was like, "How am I a digital deceiver?" And then I got blocked again. You're a digital deceiver in training. You're in the what do they call that? Not She's not in probation yet. She's like an intern. She was an intern for Kim to see how it works. And now she's trying to go out on her own. So, a lot of people find a problem with not the one and the way he does what he does. I'm not here to argue that. I've told y'all plenty of times. I try to divorce myself from the word awareness because the way some people do it is inappropriate to me. It is not, it doesn't fit within the awareness that I want to be a part of. When you go as low as the scammers, how are you any better? And now I'm not asking for purity. I'm not asking for perfection. That's not what I make mistakes every day. But when you're willing to go as low as the scammers, how are you better? Good morning. So, not the one was bringing attention to them, I guess. And according to her man, let's pull him up. Now, we're going to do a couple of things. This is the account he's known by, Fish Sticks Rick. That's the account that was going into Kim's live. That's the account that talks trash in Ireland's account. That's his primary account. Talks trash in Ireland's account. That's his primary account. Oh, yes, Monica, it wasn't a mistake. He didn't stutter before he said it. This is his other account. Rick James. Rick James 427. Right, ethical awareness. Doesn't mean perfection, doesn't mean you can't make mistakes, doesn't mean you don't lose your shit from time to time cuz these scammers get on your nerves. So that's not what I'm saying. This is good old Rick James, her soulmate. So, not the one was bringing his version of awareness to the situation. And according to Rick James, he felt like not the one threatened his wife and children. I didn't listen to the live, so I can't tell you whether he did it or he didn't. But Rick James thought it would be acceptable to use slurs like the F word which was a word used to describe people who are homosexual. Y'all know what I'm saying. And then he calls him an N-word lover. Now, he tried, after he started to get heat for it, he tried to throw out that the definition of the N word is ignorant in the dictionary. You are correct, sir, but it is a whitewashing of the word because the word wasn't used back in the day to tell people of color that they were ignorant. Let's just call black people. Like, it wasn't people of color, it was just black people. It was a word used to make you feel like you were one fourth a human. Do y'all realize that when the Constitution was written, black people weren't even considered a full human being? I realize they want to take this out of the books in school. But if they take them out the books in school where your child goes, make sure your children understand the history. Because without understanding the history, then the word means nothing. It means ignorant in the dictionary. I will tell you this. They say it in front of the wrong person, they're going to get popped in the mouth. And then you're going to want to go, oh my God, you hit my child. Teach your children not to use the word, not in any context. Now, he couldn't call him the N word because obviously he's not. So, what do you do to dehumanize a person when you can't call them that? You call them an N lover, which means that you love people who aren't even a full human being, that you love the trash. Now, I'm going to tell you all a little story, and y'all can go find it. It is a video. A nurse who was caring for a patient who was dying of COVID. Hold on, guys. Okay. Who was dying of COVID was hallucinating that there was a black boy in the corner staring at her. And they thought it was just a part of the unaliving process. They often see people, they often see like family and friends. They feel like they're going on a trip. And as she was on her last leg, she was talking to this nurse and she decided that she needed to confess something. She said that when she was a little girl, she told her mom that a little black boy touched her behind the store. He is Ireland's man. He touched her behind the store. Her mother went and told her people. Her people kidnapped, tortured, cut this little boy's genitals off, and then hung him. And she watched the whole thing, knowing that it was a lie. And she told the nurse that the reason why she did it was because she felt like the black boy's sisters had prettier dresses than her. And she wanted to know if she could be forgiven. And according to the nurse, she said that she told her the only person that could forgive you is that little boy. If you think that story is a one off, if you have Peacock, go watch the movie Till, Till. It tells the story of Emmett Till. Little history lesson, a little raising the consciousness for you. That wasn't a one off story. happens a lot. So when you use that word and then want to throw off that it's um just a word that means ignorant, if that's what you were trying to say, why did you call him an end lover? So he loves ignorant people? That was a dig. That was you protecting your wife and children. And again, let's be very clear. He didn't stutter. He didn't and then say it. That is a part of his vernacular because he isn't bright enough to be able to use words to express his feelings. Imagine how he yells at the kids when you don't have the emotional intelligence to, they're not little. They're not children. We are talking about full grown adults. And let me also be clear about something because the other thing people like to throw out is, well, Black people use the word. Let me be very clear. There is a difference between NIGG hard ER and the word that Black people use, which is NIGGA. NIGGA is a term of endearment between people of color. It is not meant to degrade. We're not calling each other ignorant. If you and your significant other have pet names for each other, let's say Pumpkin. Is he calling you a pumpkin? Is he saying you look like a pumpkin? No. It's a term of endearment between the two of you. It doesn't have to mean anything to anybody else. It's the term of endearment you use between the two of you. I'll even get a little personal. I call my significant other Papa. Is he my daddy? Well, in certain situations, maybe. But no, he's not my father. It is my term of endearment for him. So when you hear Black people say NIGGA, it is not the same thing. Let me play this video for you. How am I going to do this? Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. This is from CNN. Hold on, let me stand this up. That might make it easier. From a few years ago. Okay. Oh, what's that? This is on YouTube.
Playing from iPad.
Oh, of course, the girl in the corner.
It was said without thinking, painting an entire race with a single word. But it wasn't always a slur. Originally, the Latin Niger just meant black.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, nigga.
But at the dawn of America, Niger became Negar to describe some of the first shipments of African slaves.
What's your name? Kunta. Kunta Kinte. My name is Toby. Hi. That's a good nigga.
Everybody like the live, please.
Contorted into its current, dark, degrading, hateful insult for African Americans.
We are the Ku Klux Klan. We hate niggers. Look out, nigger. The Klan is getting bigger.
Over time, it has appeared in everything from ugly propaganda to cartoons to nursery rhymes. Eeny Meeny didn't always end with catch a tiger by the toe. It was tossed about casually in movies well into the 20th century, part of the way of life, but also sometimes to raise consciousness.
You nigga lover.
And in the civil rights era, the stigma came to a head. Author James Baldwin, in the 1963 documentary Take This Hammer.
We invented the nigger. I didn't invent it. White people invented it.
In the 1970s emerged a new willingness to explore the impact of the word and even satirize it.
And isn't it a lovely morning?
Up yours, nigger.
If you two ever really started going at one another, inside of 5 minutes, he'd be calling you.
Don't say nigger.
It hardly disappeared in the 1980s and 90s, though white people rarely said the word publicly. Some black people did. A lot.
Black people, there's niggas. The niggas have got to go. Straight out of Compton, crazy named Ice Cube. From the gang called niggas with attitudes.
As a society, we've tried to ignore it, ban it, literally bury it.
The NAACP held this symbolic funeral for the N-word.
And we've perhaps added more gravity to the word just by refusing to say it.
Whenever a white lady on CNN with nice hair says the N-word, that's just white people getting away with saying nigger. That's all that is.
Okay. So when this clown says, I was just calling him ignorant, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. Because the word you chose to use wasn't just the word, but it was the N-word lover. So I'm sorry. I heard he apologized, but guess what? When you apologize and then continue to make excuses, the apology is performative. It is because you know that's what you should say. He tried to say, well, I was protecting my wife and children. How? How does saying any of the words you said protecting your children and your wife? They are officially trash. And I know some people have decided to just block them, ignore them, never acknowledge them. I'm not doing that. I'm staying on their ass. And I respect anybody who makes that decision. I really do. Because why? Why give them any attention? But the problem for me is when they go into the shadows, then they find like-minded people, and then they just start bantering it around because there's nobody watching. I will be. His wife said, if you can't forgive, you can't be forgiven. To give forgiveness, you have to be remorseful. Your apology has to have some weight behind it. What am I forgiving? His ignorance? And like I said, did he take 5 minutes to understand the gravity of what he said? No. He did a quick, I'm sorry, so that we can all move on. I said I was sorry. Nah, bro. Nah. And by the way, the movie that you saw with the actor that got whipped in the back? Dang, what's the name of that movie? I can't think of it. But because I got so much going on in my head right now, I apologize. But what was happening in that scene was that when slaves were brought to America, they had names, right? They were named something in Africa. That young man's name was Kunta Kinte. That was his mother's father's given name. Well, when he got to America, they wanted to name him Toby. Because why would they want to say Kunta Kinte? That's not their language. And he kept saying, my name is Kunta Kinte. And they kept saying, no, your name is Toby. So they whipped him until he agreed to say that his name was Toby. That's what that scene was. So miss me with the apology. Miss me because it's 2025. You know better. You only say that when you know the sting it will provide. That's the only reason. So I'll be watching. And I'm going to see to it you don't get a penny. Oh, yes, Roots. Thank you very much. Roots. No, I'm sorry, Erica. Don't do that. Oh, of course, I got a warning. Reproduce content. Of course, I got a warning. But Kim can have her titties out. He can use the words, and it's no problem. I raise the consciousness, and I get a violation. I don't even care. Notice how they said raising the consciousness in the video? I thought that was funny. Just the whatever. Okay. Regular. I'm lagging. Regular. I'm lagging. Regular. I'm lagging. Welcome back. I appreciate you guys coming back. Good morning. You guys are funny. Let everybody know we're back. I love how quick TikTok could find me doing something wrong. But the scammers get away with whatever. So many people get away with whatever. Good morning. They catch me quick. Okay. We are at 8 o'clock. Let's just talk about Lisa real quick. This is what I'm trying. Oh, by the way, thank you for the heart me. By the way, I am sorry about the lagging. I realized I wasn't even connected to the internet. So that was probably why. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. Do me a favor, like the live. Let everybody know we're here. So I just want to talk about Lisa real quick. First of all, I have been reporting her lives, and I have been reporting them, making sure that I say that she's being manipulative and that she is doxing her former givers and manipulating them into giving her again. That she's doing it excessively because she does it every day, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Now, she has multiple accounts. All they got to do is go live. And because she is the most popular scammer, she's going to get 1,000 people in the live. And I want y'all to understand that TikTok is changing the way that they're viewing engagement. Number of likes, number of followers, number of comments, all of that is going to count. So she is trying to keep her numbers high. So she does stupid stuff like that because she knows people are like, oh my God, she called that person out. Oh my God. This is my thing though. She has no income. She has no food stamps. She only has Medicaid. She has nothing happening in her life that she could trade for cash, right? So my question is this. She only asks for food and cigarettes, right? Only 2 things she asks for now. So has she been clean all this time? She says she needs rehab. So if all you need all this time is food and cigarettes, where you getting your rugs from, man? She was supposed to go. Her daddy was warming up the car. And if she didn't get 3 packs of smokes, she wasn't going. The very next day, we didn't hear nothing else about rehab. Like, are people really this dense that they're going to continue to give to her every time she goes, eh? And let's be clear, and I've been saying this since day one. Her and quite a few others, Ty, you know when they get the money because they end the live. They don't end the live before they get the money. And Lisa will be like, you better. And then all of a sudden it goes to pause. And it pauses and it pauses and it pauses. Then the live ends. It's because she got the money. And then she'll come on an hour and a half later and be like, I just needed to calm down. I'm going to stay calm this time. I only got $2. She's lying. Right. We only have 70 days now to see what happens. But I'm just saying, if all you need is food and cigarettes, and that's all she's been asking for weeks, why do you need rehab? You're clean, right? Right. And she mobs those who give her money. I probably sent 6 reports on her when one of the lives she went live yesterday. Every time she did something, I sent a report that I could actually like. She is making people pay to become her mods against community guidelines. I will shorten what I say so that I can make sure it's against community guidelines is in there. Because if they get reports like that, they can't claim that they didn't. I mean, they could claim anything, but you could catch my violations quick. Janelle, she makes up excuses. Okay, let's go to somebody I've never talked about before.
Playing from iPad.
Who is this clown? Mr. Wrench Unstoppable. What cracked me up is when I saw that he had the name Daddy Wrench Zero. Daddy where? You look like a 12-year-old. Daddy where? And last night, I don't know what his problem was, but he was trying to make himself cry. He was trying to play sad, hardcore music, but sad. And he made 35 different faces, not a tear the first. Not a tear the first. Then he tried to guzzle beer. I guess that's his thing. And people are like, no, don't do that. Blah, blah. Why are you treating him like a baby? Because he looks like one? He didn't even know how to guzzle a beer right. It was hilarious. Can you dive in on Help Wesley? Lisa's hubby. Who's that? I never even heard of them. Lisa who? Lisa? Who hasn't been on live in a month? This is what gets me. This young man is young, able-bodied, and you're on TikTok begging for money, begging for gifts. What is the wait? What, Monica? Renchi Boo. He tried to throw himself down like he fell. Sir, if you're going to be an actor, you got to do a little better. You got to do a little better. Not going to work. No, but I wrote the name down. Help Wesley. I got Help Wesley and Trescia Contrelli. I got them down. If I'm not live in there, somebody send me a message. It may take me a minute to get to it because I got hundreds of messages, but I get to it eventually. No games, Sean. Lord have mercy. And this is the thing. You got Bree and Ty, Asia, the two girls, the two black girls in a relationship, him, all of these able-bodied people expect the community of TikTok to pay their every bill. Not just a little help with gas to get back and forth to work. How you paying for the car you driving? Where's the insurance? What about maintenance? But we got to pay for you to have a hotel. We got to pay for you to eat. We got to pay for you to go somewhere you want to go. We got to pay you just to be in your life. Shout out to Detroit Nike. Wait a minute. I missed the name. I'm so busy talking. Wait a minute. Uh-oh, Susan P., you're an enabler? Be careful now. They will call you out. Dang, I missed the name. Okay, thank you, Chaotic. No games. Okay. All right, they want a free ride through life. Them days is over, baby. They're coming to an end. They are coming to an end. Okay. Just watch them, though. It's comical. Let's talk these two. So they got money for the room. I'm sure he's live right now getting money for the room. And then he was back on asking for $32 for food. Now, I thought his mod said that he uses his $1,000 a month for their essentials and food. So why is the chat having to buy them food now? Mods, come to the front of the room. I showed y'all that if they stayed there for a year and got the $68 every day, it is the equivalent of $24,000. And they expect to be able to do that? What was funny to me was, I guess they know that people are starting to get tired of his face, his voice, his nonsense. So Bree went live and was doing her makeup, which is how this whole thing started. But the money wasn't coming in fast enough. And she wasn't asking. She was just doing her makeup. So every once in a while, you'd hear him in the background. We still need $32 for food, y'all. And she would be like, yep, we still need $32. And when it was obvious that nothing was going to come in, he took over. And it was so funny because he was asking for $32 for food, but he kept saying to keep the room. Like, he kept making that mistake because that is his script. Good morning. Oh, you've never seen Brie? Yeah, she did her makeup yesterday. She does a pretty good job. She does better than me. I can't even front. Now you have to DM him for his Cash App because he doesn't want it to get taken down. Somebody in the community, please DM him and get the Cash App so we can take it down. And then I want to show you somebody in their chat. Miss May, come to the front of the room. Capsule. Okay. Let's take it down, y'all. It's Cap Salt is their CA. Miss May, check out what she said in his chat. She said, I don't see any of the awareness pages anymore. Maybe they got banned too. I don't know. But it says user number when I go to look them up. Who are you looking up, ma'am? Who? I'm still here. Everybody that I know in the awareness community is still here. What are you talking about? Or are you talking about the fact that his mods have made it a point to block us all? Miss May, what you talking about? We still here, boo. Don't worry. And we're going to still bring attention to your raggedy scammers. I'm going to invite her to my live so she understands that we are still here. Of course, Vampire, because let me just tell you something. Anything that can, even straight truth, gets you blocked. I asked, what do you do with the $900 you get? And I got blocked. Oh, I'm sure there are a lot in his life. I'm sure of it. This is the thing. I watch it for what I do. I don't understand the fascination for regular people. I don't. Like, what is entertaining? And then we had to listen to his raggedy music. Ugh. I actually wrote that down. I said, now I have to listen to his terrible music. Now, this is the other thing, though. While he was listening to his music, he was rapping and bouncing around. My thing is this. You can write, you can rap, you can dance, you can walk, you can see, feel, hear, taste, but you can't work. But you can work. Now, don't get me wrong. There are conditions that are not seen on the outside. There are people who have cancer who look 100% fine. I have arthritis in my knees. Thanks to my dad. Thank you, Daddy. I appreciate the reminder that you were my daddy. When I stand up, you can't see that my knees are bone on bone. You can see that I'm extremely bow-legged, but you can't see that my knees are bone on bone. So you don't understand that I have pain when I walk. But sir, there are jobs you can do. Plenty. You just think that the Social Security label means that you can't work. That's not, in fact, the case. It's because he uses the money he gets on the things he wants. That's why. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let's make sure we put his face up there because Miss May is irrelevant. It is because he got approved as a child. And when you get approved as a child, there is an understanding that you're going to have it forever. This current administration might have some plans for him. Might have got away with it for a long time. He called somebody else a child for questioning him.
Playing from iPad.
Let me disconnect this because she's getting on my nerves. Hold on. You beg for your every need, but somebody else is a child? Yeah, how is she not listening when as soon as I say her name, she listens? They're always listening. When it first came out, this is an aside. When it first came out, there was this video where this guy had like gone out and came back, and she was like, "Where have you been?" And he was kind of like, "Mind your business." So then the cops show up and they're questioning him about his whereabouts, and he was like, "I was home," and she was in the background. No, he wasn't. He was at such and such and such and such, and he committed the crime. I'm like, I know that's how y'all listen. Y'all listen to our every word. Then someone was like, "This isn't engaging, like what you're doing." And you know what he said? He said he isn't here for engagement. TikTok. He told you he wasn't here for engagement. He's here to get his bills paid. But that's okay with you? Of course, where they live, there are no shelters, no food banks, no assistance anywhere ever. How come there is never nothing for them except for coming to TikTok? They want your cash. They don't even really want the gifts because that takes too long. They got to wait till Wednesday to get the payout. They want your cash. Anybody new here? Keep your money in your own pocket. Give it to somebody in your neighborhood, in your community. Give it to an agency that's reputable. People in North Carolina are still suffering. People in California are suffering. People, I promise you, there is somebody in your community suffering. There is a child concerned about what they're going to eat on Saturday when there is no school. Animal shelters, correct. Do you know that there are babies who don't have anybody? Go to the hospital and hold a baby. Go to a nursing home. There are people who have no one come visit. Go visit and sit with them. They would love it. Giving money to these people is a waste of your money. Why do I say that? Because it's not like you giving them the last $20 is going to actually change their life. It's not. Because they're just going to come back tomorrow and want the same 68 or the same 30. Nothing changes. It just goes to the next day and the next day and the next day. It never ends. It only stops when the money stops. Look at Carl. Carl goes live. He'll get up there and be like, I need money, blah, 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 blah. 3 minutes later, he's off. Why? Nobody's in there. Nobody's giving money. He doesn't even stay anymore. I said this on Friday. If you have Lisa who's threatening to call you out, let her call you out. It's one and done. Let her tell the world your name. You may get some messages that are like, oh, I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? I woke up now. Let her call you out. One and done. It's over with. Now you can keep your money in your pocket. They're so afraid of people knowing that they gave money because they're afraid of the hate that they'll receive. They will continue to give her money as if it's going to stop. It's not going to stop until you stop giving them money. Well, Miss Gypsy Windwalker Broken Heart, Travis's girlfriend / wife, is upset because cyber bullies got her live banned. No, we're not cyber bullies. We want you to stop taking advantage of people. She has used this hospital visit to the nth degree. She makes sure that oxygen is in that nose. So, I'm just going to give you a little rundown. So, 2 days ago, she did a video. They had a hotel. So, somebody gave them money for a hotel. Guys, an aside. So, California had the fires, right? The problem with the fires is that now it is raining. Why is that a problem? You would think, oh, that's great. That'll help the firefighters. The problem is that because the fires took all the vegetation away, it's nothing but mud. So now they have had to close the 101 freeway because of a mudslide. It doesn't get better, unfortunately. So 2 days ago, they were in a hotel. She was asking for more money for another night in the hotel and warm food. Well, she didn't get it. Oh, Lady Day, please be safe. Sending all my good vibes and prayers to you. Please be safe. Your life is worth more than possessions. So what happened? She went right back to the ER. I can't breathe. I think they're using the ER for somewhere warm to sleep. But they know what time they have to be at the shelter. They have just gotten accustomed to people putting them in a hotel. But while in the ER, didn't stop her for asking for money. More money. More money. There is no way with 3 open heart surgeries that man doesn't qualify for disability. He has a pump that requires that he be hooked up to electricity. What do you mean you haven't filed yet? We're gonna file. What's taking so long? Then there was a video where she was outside, no coat on. Right? It's so cold and we need a place and we're outside. 2 minutes later, same spot. She has this big, huge coat on. Where was the coat the first time? Or were you trying to make people feel like she's outside, no coat? How is she gonna survive? Y'all gotta watch for the little manipulation. They think they're slick. So this is when she said her live got banned because of cyber bullies. No, we're people who have raised the consciousness of others. When y'all tell me that the words we use don't work, they do. They work. Just be patient and consistent. I don't care if we have to do it 1,000 times. I don't care if they have 13 accounts to go live on. Every time they have to go to a new one, it's annoying. So what happens when they didn't get any more money? They went right back to the hospital. And she started with, she has COPD something. I didn't even know what the word was. No, not that I didn't know what the word was. I have never heard whatever that word was and COPD together. Now let's remember, when she was in the hospital before, it was something was wrong with her heart. Then it was pneumonia. Then it was the flu. Then she had an infection in her heart. How many illnesses are you going to give yourself, ma'am? But they kept discharging you, though. They need the bed for someone who's actually sick. You heard a nurse say he didn't qualify for rehab because he had turned it down. Exactly. It's not that he didn't qualify. He turned it down. Why did he turn it down? Because they couldn't grift off of it if he was in a nursing home. Facts. A hypochondriac. So she had COPD. I guess she was trying to say it was exacerbated by being in the cold, which actually could happen. They need a hotel and food. Then she started this whole message to the homeless. I know you feel alone, but you're not alone. You are loved. Girl. Love and light. People who are legitimately homeless are not alone, but the scammers are starting to feel alone because we're bringing attention to them. The money is slowing down. How do you feel alone? Travis is right there sleeping in the chair. So that she was about to get discharged again. And she went from asking for a hotel to warm food. We need warm food. Then it's too late for us to get to the shelter. We need a hotel. Now guess what she has, y'all? Now she has COVID. And now COVID is still going around. I'm not going to say that she doesn't have COVID. Stop using the ER as a place to sleep. You are taking resources away from people who really need it. Go do what you need to do. Let him go to rehab. If he can even go now. You are too old for this nonsense. And we are tired of it. Facts. When I tell you this woman's life keeps going from bad to worse. Last person. Now, this one is never going to go away. I promise you. Well, it's not that she's not looking out for Travis. Travis doesn't want to be there either. Travis doesn't want to be in a facility. Because in a facility, you can't get... I believe they drink a lot of alcohol. If I'm not mistaken. You can't do that in a facility. He doesn't want to be there either. So Miss Kim went and got her nails done. And people were immediately on it. My thing is this. She tried to allude to the fact that somebody else paid for it. Even if that is true, you mean to tell me you'd rather get your nails done than get groceries? The person who did your nails, you couldn't have said to them, buy me some groceries? Pay my cell phone bill for next month. So I don't have to worry about that. No, you ain't got your nails done, and I believe you paid for it. Because Kim is another one. She gets money. She wants to use it for the things that make her feel better. Like eating out, getting her nails done, getting a haircut. And then she wants other people to pay for her want. Let me go back to something that I gave you guys a while ago. Let me see if I can find it first. This is a bad picture. But do y'all remember when I talked about the Maslow hierarchy of needs? And I talked about the fact that people aren't going to give you money for your nails. Because that's on the self-esteem band, I think. It makes you feel better. You know, as women, we hold our fingers a little differently when we have nails on. We act a little bit more prim and proper. We're feeling good about ourselves. We got to spend some time on ourselves and not our families, not our children, not our spouses. You feel good. People aren't going to give you money for that. So what does she do? She uses her money for those things, knowing that if she needs air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, people will give her money for that. Because like I said before, everybody knows what it feels like to be cold. Everybody knows what it feels like to be hot. Everybody knows what it feels like to be hungry. Everybody knows what it feels like to be thirsty. So if you see someone, especially someone of her size, I am not fat shaming her in any way. When she says she's hungry, people are going to believe it. She's always hungry. This was an old raising the consciousness thing. So she won't spend her money on groceries because she knows she can get people to feel sorry enough for her that they'll send her the money for it. Oh God, y'all. Guess what, y'all? I had a cat bed for their really big carrier that I had. And it was just, I don't know where it was, but I just happened to throw it up on something. When I tell you it is White Sox' new favorite thing, it's hilarious. That's why he's been quiet. He's over there asleep on it. Why didn't I think of that before? Right. She has a fridge full of food. She gets the Meals on Wheels. Y'all saw she made gumbo last night while she had in her sticker that she needed groceries. And she has enough gumbo to at least last 2 days. Somebody else, it might be 4 days. But in her case, to at least last 2 days. But you know what she's going to say? I don't want to eat it again right now. I'd rather have Taco Bell. Can someone give me Taco Bell? I'll save that for tomorrow. A lot of people get happy when they eat sunflower. You know, when little kids, when they eat, they dance. They so happy. I'm sorry, I'm going through my notes because I said some of what I wrote down. I said people aren't going to give you money for your nails, makeup, luxury. But food, rent, gas, the basics, absolutely. People will give money. Kim talks about trolls. She is the troll. She is playing her supporters to give her money. She is the troll. Where's the eviction? Don't hear about that no more. Now, what was funny to me is that she went on a rampage about Ireland and Rick James, which I did too. So I'm not saying that her anger about them, about what he said, was misplaced. I just find it ironic that you want to talk about what they did, but not about you. So she has Fallon in the box. Oop, wrong place. Sorry, guys. I have so many pictures. I actually have a folder that says DDS today so that when I go look for a picture, they're all in that one spot. There's so many. She had Fallon in the box because she was trying to say that people in the community were still supporting Ireland and her husband. Stop it. You know better than that. Right, I know Ireland was Kim's mod. And that's why I think she's mad, because I think she knows that it's going to split the community, her community, in half. So now, if she sees you in Ireland's live, you're going to get blocked. Why? Why? Because you don't want anybody liking anybody else's anything? You don't want anybody to get the money that you're hoping to get? So she had Fallon in the box. Fallon explained to her that nobody over here was down for that. Let's not play games. She also let her know, though, that there's people who key in our pages, but then go to hers and are supportive. Pick a lane, people. She said to Fallon, "We're not going to talk about me." But then asked Fallon a question about her. And when Fallon started to give the answer, she's like, "Well, I said we weren't talking about me." Fallon is like, "You asked me." And she's like, "Yeah, well, I'm eating now, so." Girl, let me tell you something. I can walk and chew gum. I can call out Ireland and Rick James and you. She's like, "I've taken accountability for what I've done." No, you don't. You have said that you were being evicted twice in 2 months. And ain't neither time you had to go to court. You didn't get a box. You didn't clean this thing up. You didn't say you paid the rent. Mind you, she shows us an eviction, but she never shows us how it got taken care of. But you take accountability? Oh, thank you, Courtney. You take accountability. You are still running scams, ma'am. You are still lying to people. So, yes, what Rick James said has him on my "I hope I take him down" list. I don't want to see them get a penny gift. He is deplorable. Like, he is on my worst of the worst list. But, ma'am, you have no pedestal to stand on. You lied about having cancer. You lied about children. You lied about not having food while you had food. You've lied about eviction after eviction after eviction. You just did it in December and January. But you take accountability? Yeah, I know, I was triggered too. Right, CJ. Then the cat was sick and she didn't have the money for the cat. Is the cat no longer sick? Oh, Lily, she was top of the list. Amanda is top of the list for me. You want to know about Amanda? Stay here. come back every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Amanda, if she comes live, is on the list every time. Don't worry about that. If I have to go watch Amanda's lives on YouTube because I missed it, if Amanda is live on TikTok, Digital is gonna talk about her.
Hi, Digital. It's Karen from Canada. I had to change my name because I was in Detroit Nike's live the other day, and he told his mods to get rid of all the white people. So I had to change my picture and my name.
He's ridiculous.
So did you see what happened yesterday on his live?
No.
So he was doing the fake, packing up his stuff, and it was getting to be 1 o'clock, and making it look like he was leaving the room, and everybody was all concerned. And so here he just goes down and pays. He never even got any money yet, but he just paid for the room, come back, and he actually admitted that he's got a car and an apartment. And he also admitted that he had a big savings account, saying that he could pay for the room for 2 weeks if he wanted to.
What?
Yeah.
What did
Yeah.
people say in the chat?
Oh, yeah. It was getting interesting there, but a lot of people were still sticking up for him. It was crazy.
I'm gonna have to go watch today.
So actually, there's another awareness page, and I think he's got some of that video on his page with Detroit admitting that. And it's get a pen ready.
Got it.
Okay, so it's your time is up, or is almost up, but it's spelled UR, and it's all no spaces.
Okay.
Your time is almost up, and it's all about Detroit.
Perfect.
He's got videos from him on Big O. Yeah, he's got a lot of videos, but he does have a part of that clip from yesterday, not admitting the car, I don't think, but admitting that he's got a savings account that he could pay that room for 2 weeks. So check that page out.
I absolutely will. By the way, guys, you guys can repost the videos so that more and more people see them.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I know you are my Detroit Nike source, so
Yeah.
there are so many I can't watch them all. Sometimes
Well,
they're on at the same time.
and I didn't know this, but I ended up talking to that guy on that Your Time Is Almost Up. Me and him were DMing each other, and I never even realized that once you go into someone's live, you probably already know this, but once you go into someone's live, they can see you come in, and then you click on the arrow on the bottom right, and you go into settings, and then you turn off your ranking. So you turn that off, and they can't see you in the live. Nobody can see you in the live, not the mods, not anybody. And he said he sits in Detroit's lives all day. So when he starts, on his rampage, mods, get these people out, and he just sits in there. So yeah, now I'm doing that.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So But yeah, it should be interesting today in his live, so I'll be in there.
Yes, I'm gonna try to be in there too. I'm gonna take a nap after the live. I always have to because when I'm gonna go live, I wake up at like 4:30. So I'm tired when I finish. 3 hours of talking, I'm tired.
You
But
betcha.
hopefully I can catch him today. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, ghost mode. I honestly never heard of that before. So
Yeah.
thank you. I'm sure a lot of people. I've been in ghost mode for 3 years. Well, I'm going. Digital's gonna start go. No, digital's not gonna go ghost because I want them
and
to know that I'm coming when I come in. I want
and
them to see
actually
me.
actually 2 days ago Amanda Bowden went into Detroit's live and she just wrote, "Hey," and you could tell he was reading it, but he never acknowledged her at all.
Of course not, because he's a racist. No, wifey, I'm making breakfast. Thank you. Thank you. It'll be better than just the protein shake that I'm actually going to get this morning.
So, anyways, I just thought I'd let you know that before you ended today. So,
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
you're very
This
welcome.
is just proof that they all lie. They're all lying. At the
Yeah.
bottom, that's the bottom line to all of them, which is why we bring attention to what they're doing because they're all lying about one thing or another to get you to separate from your money.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So now you know who I am now with this new name.
Okay. It showed me though that you have been up before. So
Yeah. Well, before I had the two Canadian flags and my first name, Karen, and, I had a picture of me, which, I'm white, so I had to change
change
it
it
up.
up real quick. Facts. Let me tell y'all this, and I used to say this quite a bit, and I don't tend to say it anymore. If you are going to want to take awareness seriously, I'm not saying that you're gonna go live, that you're going to do what some of us do, but if you're gonna take it seriously, get what you call an awareness account. It's not your name. It's not your personal. It has no connection to who you are as a person. And I give you that advice because the same way that we're able to figure out stuff, so are they. Their minds are just as well, some of them are just as bright. They know how to look people's information up. And the next thing you know, your information is everywhere. And you're wondering, how did that happen? I was just in there live asking a question. Get an account that isn't attached to you for two reasons. A, so that you can float through lives. They don't know who you are because remember something. They come in here, they watch, right? So do that as an A. B, that way your personal account, when you want to scroll, you're not seeing one scammer after another after another after another. You're able to block those accounts so that the algorithm changes what you see. That way TikTok can go back to being enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly. And
So go ahead, I'm sorry.
it's kind of funny when I first found that guy's page. I don't know if it's a man or a woman that your time's up already. It's a picture of this black woman with long hair. So I kind of thought it was a woman. And then I looked. Well, the picture is Detroit Nike dressed up as a woman, is his picture.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that page out. Your time is almost up. I like the name too.
Yeah, because we were talking and I actually told him about you and that you're live, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And just, I don't know, maybe half hour when you first come on this morning, I seen him come in because I
Oh,
told him
nice.
about you. But I think once you reset, he was gone. So
Yeah.
he
Thank you
was
for
in
that.
here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys sharing that I go live. Um, yeah, it helps the community grow. And like I
Yeah.
said, I try to bring I hope that I bring some value add because I know a lot of you guys sit in the same lives I do. And so I hope that I try to bring some value add. I try to um, connect some dots so that in case you missed it, I can make sure that you see it. So that when you then go and message other people and say, hey, listen, they're a scammer, you're able to put some dots together. Like we talked about earlier with Amanda. First, the pastor was there and he helped her get the $10, and then he wasn't there at all. But people who are so focused in here, like just seeing what's going on, they might not connect the dot. They might not connect the dot that every time she's asking for cab money, she's walking around in the dark. Why? Why aren't you sitting where you are and just waiting? I thought you need a hip replacement, right? So why are you doing so much walking? It's coming. By the way, we have a new date. We have a new date. So let's see if it happens this time. It might because she actually has some place to recover. But I don't think it's anytime soon. So she plans on being where she is for quite some time. So we'll see. We will see. But this morning was a lot for me. So I'm going to break out a little early so CJ can make me some breakfast.
Well, you have a good day, and thanks for having me up again.
Anytime. You know, you're always welcome.
You betcha.
Thank you. I am sure that the scammers will be here today, bright and early. I already seen some come through. So you guys enjoy your day. Don't spend all day looking at scammers like I do. Touch some grass. Enjoy a good meal. Watch a good movie. Watch some of the movies I told you about. It's heavy. Don't get me wrong. It is heavy. But it's insightful. It gives you a perspective so that you understand why people get so upset about things like that. It helps you understand why people talk about racism being systemic. It helps you understand why people say we've made a lot of progress, but we have a long way to go. Hug your loved ones. Tomorrow isn't promised. And I will see you all. Oh, All for One is live tonight at 7. Okay, everybody be there with your bells on because you know he's going to bring something good every time. Hug your loved ones. Tomorrow isn't promised. And everybody have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the chat or I will see you Wednesday morning. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. I talked for a long time. Okay, love.